Today on Randy Reviews It, we review the gun that I zested an orange with, the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact. Stick around and find out what I liked and what I didn't. Hey everybody, welcome to Randy Reviews It. So this week we're talking about, or I should say today we're talking about the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact. It has the flat trigger, the updated trigger. This gun is an interesting one because the Smith & Wessons don't fit my hands that well, just the way that the grip ergonomics were. It's like too thin for me or something, or it's, I don't know, I guess like I'd like a more rounded approach to things like the PDP or something like that. So I'm not going to knock it for the grip angle or the ergos necessarily on that, just because I know everyone has different hands and there's a lot of people that like this. Let's go through the cons first, and then we'll get to the pros, because there are some pros with this gun, and I don't want to discourage anyone that's bought it already, because it's got a lot going for it, and it did surprise us in a few areas. So the cons, the first one, if you saw my YouTube short, I zested an orange with this grip texture. This is such an aggressive grip texture that has no point in being on a carry gun. This will chew you to pieces. I messaged Brass Addict because I know he's a big fan of the Smith & Wesson M&P series on Instagram, and I was like, hey, how do you carry this thing? And he goes, with an undershirt. Like, this will chew you to pieces without that, a shirt or some type of cushion or anything to protect you from this. It's great when you're shooting it at the range. It makes the gun really controllable, and it just sticks to your hand. But carrying this thing is what nightmares are made out of, with that against your skin. It's really, really brutal. Next, let's get into the other con, the optic system. So the optic plates from Smith & Wesson are plastic. It has an optic plate system, so you have to buy an aftermarket one. It's not optics ready, you know. We've preached about that a bit. You get a plastic plate. The plate system on it isn't great. Like I said, you get plastic ones. It comes with these giant raised 3-dot sights. So I'm not a huge fan of these sights. I usually like a blacked out rear. And this is like absolute co-witness on these sights. Like, they're really high. So I'm not a huge fan of that. But let's get into what I am a fan of. The recoil impulse on this gun is really good. So we did measure the muzzle rise, and you'll see that right here. So it was a soft shooting gun. Both my friend and I, who was visiting, found this shot softer than another gun we're going to review by Smith & Wesson shortly. But this was a very soft shooting gun. It was controllable. The grip I wish was a little bit longer. It's like the same length as the Shield Plus grip, but because of that texture, it sticks in your hand and you can control it a little bit more. The extra barrel length helps on that recoil as well. I really wish Smith & Wesson made a 4-inch with a full-size grip. Unfortunately, to get the full-size grip, you have to get like a 4.5-inch barrel, I believe. Checking on their website and everything like that. These are really reasonably priced for what you're getting. If you saw the Grand Thumb video like I did, these apparently are the most durable guns in a frozen climate. So yeah, these things have a really good durability. And the reason I stayed away from them before was the trigger was awful. It was this hinge trigger that FN basically still uses on their pistol. Yeah, FN, I'm calling you out. You have a terrible trigger on your guns. No one likes the hinge. But they've since moved to like a flatter angled one. And it's just got the little dongle. It's a full trigger. And it breaks pretty good. So I would say that this trigger is better than the Shadow Systems stock one for sure. It's a really good trigger in here. It's not as good as the PDP. Nothing's touching that in a striker fire. It's not as good as the VP9 either, but it's pretty good. You get pretty good serrations with this. I like the way that they do kind of a wave cut on them. And then you're just getting a reliable tank of a gun. It's not too heavy though that you wouldn't carry it. It's really just the grip texture that you wouldn't carry. And I found myself too, after shooting at a decent amount at the range, that I wanted the trigger guard to have like a little bit smoother spots. Like I was getting kind of wear where it was cutting into me after shooting at a decent amount. But would I recommend this gun? Yes, but I would put some tape around this grip. And then you're probably good to go. I would definitely buy an aftermarket optics plate here. Nothing from C&H Precision either. I've had some issues. You'll see a video on that. But if you find a good optics plate company and they make one for this, buy it from them. Don't buy the Smith & Wesson plates. Overall, the gun's pretty good. I just wish the grip was a little longer, that they offered a version with a little longer grip. Because it's the same length as the Shield grip, this gun's just a little bit thicker. Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching. Take care.